The snow crunches under my boots as I trudge through the cold, my breath puffing out in little clouds that vanish into the night. It's Christmas Eve, and the street is quiet except for the faint hum of holiday lights strung across the trees. Ahead, I see it, my wife Tessa's new boutique studio, glowing like a beacon against the dark. The windows are warm with golden light, and I can hear laughter spilling out from inside. My hands tighten around the gift I've been carrying for blocks, a scrapbook I spent weeks putting together, every page a memory of her dream, from the first sketch she doodled on our kitchen table to this moment right here. It's wrapped in plain brown paper, tied with a red ribbon, nothing fancy, but it's from the heart. I sold our family home to make this place real for her, gave up the walls we raised our life in, and now I'm living in a cramped room above Lucille's garage. This gift is my way of saying I'm still part of it, even if I'm on the outside now. I step up to the door, the bell jingling as I press it. My stomach twists a little. I haven't seen Tessa in weeks, not since she started avoiding my calls. The door swings open, and there she is, dressed in a sleek black dress, her hair perfect, her smile bright until she sees me. "Miles," she says, her voice sharp, like I've caught her off guard. Behind her, the room buzzes with people, fancy types in suits and dresses, holding wine glasses and chatting like they own the world. "Sorry, this is a private event," she adds, her tone cold, her eyes flicking past me like she's already done with this conversation. I blink, the words hitting me like a slap. "Private event? I sold our home for this. I gave up everything so she could stand in that spotlight. And now I'm not even welcome?" I try to smile, holding up the scrapbook. "I just wanted to drop this off," I say, my voice steady even though my chest feels tight. "It's for you. Merry Christmas, Tessa." She doesn't move to take it. Her assistant, Gloria, steps forward instead, a small woman with sharp eyes and a tight smile. "I'll handle it," Gloria says, reaching for the package, but Tessa waves her off. "Miles, you can't just show up like this," Tessa says, her voice low, like she's embarrassed I'm even here. "This isn't the time." I look past her into the room, crystal chandeliers, polished floors, a bar with bottles I'd never be able to afford. It's everything she wanted, everything I helped her build. And yet here I am, standing in the snow, feeling like a stranger. "Tessa," I start. "I'm not here to make a scene." I just thought. She cuts me off, her hand raised. "Please, Miles. Just go." Her words are final, like a door slamming shut. I look at her, really look at her, and I don't see the woman I married anymore. The Tessa I knew would have laughed at the idea of a private event keeping us apart. This Tessa? She's someone else, someone who's built a wall between us with the money from our old life. I nod slowly, setting the gift down on the step because I don't know what else to do. "Okay," I say, my voice quieter than I mean it to be. "I'll go." I turn back into the snow, my boots sinking deeper with every step. The cold bites at my fingers, but it's nothing compared to the ache in my chest. I think about the house we used to have, the creaky porch, the kitchen where we'd dance to the radio, the bedroom where we'd talk about the future. I sold it all for her dream, and now I'm locked out of it. I glance back once, just once, and see Gloria picking up the scrapbook, her face unreadable as she takes it inside. Tessa's already gone, swallowed up by the crowd. I keep walking, the snow falling heavier now, covering my tracks like I was never there. I don't know what I expected tonight. Maybe a smile, maybe a thank you. Instead, I got a closed door and a reminder that the life I gave up doesn't miss me. The garage isn't far, just a few blocks, but it feels like miles. I climb the rickety stairs to my room, the space small and bare, a bed, a desk, a single lamp. Lucille's been good to me, letting me stay here cheap, but it's not home. I sit on the edge of the bed, staring at my hands, still red from the cold. I think about that scrapbook, all those hours I spent gluing photos and writing notes. I wonder if Tessa will even open it, or if it'll end up in some drawer, forgotten like me. The wind howls outside, rattling the window, and I lie back, closing my eyes. It's Christmas Eve, and I'm alone. I gave her everything, and she gave me this, a locked door and a long walk home. But I'm not done yet. I don't know how, but I'm not done. I stand there in the snow for a moment longer, staring at the door Tessa just shut in my face, the echo of her words, "private event," ringing in my ears like a bad joke. My breath hangs in the air, and my hands tremble, not just from the cold, but from something else, something hotter, stirring deep in my gut. I sold our home for that boutique, gave up the life we built together, and now I'm standing out here like some delivery guy she didn't order. The scrapbook's still on the step where I left it, the red ribbon stark against the white snow, and I think about walking away, letting it go, letting her have her night. But then I hear the laughter from inside again, loud and careless, and something snaps. I'm not just going to fade into the dark like she wants. Not tonight. I pick up the gift, brush off the snow, and push the door open before I can talk myself out of it. The bell jingles again, sharper this time, and the room goes quiet, like someone hit pause on a movie. Heads turn, eyes lock on me, men in tailored suits, women with glittering earrings, all of them frozen mid-sip, mid-sentence. Tess is halfway across the room, a wine glass in her hand, and when she sees me, her face tightens, her lips pressing into a thin line. Miles, what are you doing? She hisses, striding toward me, her heels clicking on the polished floor. She's trying to keep her voice low, but it's too late. Everyone's watching now. I don't back down. I step further in, the warmth of the room hitting my cold skin, and I hold up the scrapbook like it's a shield. I'm not here to ruin your night, Tessa, I say, loud enough for the room to hear. I just wanted to give you this. She reaches me, her hand grabbing my arm, trying to steer me back toward the door. This isn't the place, she says through gritted teeth, her eyes darting to the crowd. You're embarrassing me. I pull my arm free, gentle but firm, and I look at her, really look at her. The woman I married wouldn't care who saw us like this. She'd have laughed it off, maybe even hugged me for showing up. This Tessa? She's all sharp edges and polished smiles, and I don't fit in her picture anymore. Embarrassing you? I say, my voice steady. I sold our home so you could have this. I think I've earned a minute. The room's still silent, and I can feel the weight of every stare, but I don't care. I walk past her, right into the middle of the party, and set the gift down on a table covered with fancy appetizers and candles. I'm Miles Hartley, I say, turning to face them all, my voice louder now, carrying over the hum of the heater. Tessa's husband. I sold our family home so she could build this place. That's all I came to say. There's a murmur, a ripple of whispers spreading through the crowd. Tessa's behind me, her face red, but she doesn't say anything, not yet. I see Gloria hovering near the bar, her eyes wide, like she knows something's about to shift. The guests exchange looks, some curious, some uncomfortable, and I wonder if they'll just go back to their drinks and pretend I'm not here. But then someone steps forward, a man in a gray suit, his hair silver at the temples. He's got a kind face, one I recognize, though it takes me a second to place him. Miles Hartley, he says, his voice cutting through the tension. I thought that was you. He smiles, extending a hand. Alan Brooke. I was principal at Westview High when you were coaching there. My mind clicks, Mr. Brooke, the guy who'd always stop by the field to watch practice, who'd thank me for keeping the kids out of trouble. I shake his hand, surprised. Good to see you, Mr. Brooke, I say, and he laughs. Call me Alan now. Retired last year. He turns to the room, still holding my hand like we're old friends. This man, he says, raising his voice, used to volunteer his afternoons mentoring kids who didn't have much. Football, track, even just talking them through their problems. Half the boys I graduated owe something to him. The murmurs grow louder, and I feel my face heat up. I didn't come here for this. I just wanted Tessa to take the damn gift. But Alan's not done. You still teaching? He asks, and I shake my head. Not anymore. Life got complicated. I glance at Tessa, who's standing there, arms crossed, her jaw tight. Alan follows my look, then back to me, and I can tell he's putting pieces together. Well, he says, clapping me on the shoulder, good to know some things don't change. You were always a solid guy, Miles. He steps back, and the room starts to buzz again. People leaning in to talk, their eyes flicking between me and Tessa. I turn to her, expecting her to say something, anything, but she just stares at me, her expression a mix of anger and something else, fear. Maybe? You happy now? She mutters, low enough that only I can hear. You've got their attention. I don't answer right away. I look around at these people, business partners, influencers, investors, all the types Tessa's been chasing for years. They're watching me now, not her, and I realize something. Reputation isn't always loud. It's not the shiny storefront or the expensive wine. Sometimes it's just a guy walking in uninvited, carrying a truth nobody expected. Tessa, I say, keeping my voice calm, I didn't come here to steal your night. I came because I thought we were still a team. She doesn't respond, just turns away, her shoulders stiff, and I know she's not going to give me anything, not tonight. I look at the scrapbook on the table, still unopened, and I think about walking out, letting her have her party. But then I catch Alan's eye again, and he nods, like he's telling me I belong here more than I think. The room's alive now, conversation's picking up, and I hear my name floating around, mixed with words like coach and home. Tessa's still ignoring me, talking to some guy in a suit, but I don't feel invisible anymore. I pick up a glass of water from the table, nothing fancy, just something to hold, and I stay. Not because she wants me to, but because I'm starting to see I don't need her permission to matter. The air in Tessa's boutique feels thick now, not just with the heat from the crowd, but with something heavier, eyes on me, whispers circling like flies. I'm still holding that glass of water, the cold seeping into my fingers, grounding me as I stand there in the middle of her perfect party. Alan Brooks' words hang in the room, painting me as some kind of unsung hero, and I can see it shifting things. People aren't just staring at Tessa's glitzy setup anymore. They're looking at me, the guy in the worn jacket who walked in uninvited. Tessa's off to the side, her back to me, talking fast to a couple of guests, probably trying to smooth over the din I've made in her night. I don't know what I'm waiting for, maybe for her to turn around, to say something real, but then the chatter picks up, and I hear my name again, louder this time. A woman in a red dress steps closer, her head tilted like she's figuring me out. "You're the one who coached at Westview?" she asks, her voice curious. I nod, a little thrown. "Yeah, years ago. Football mostly, some track." She smiles, warm but sharp. "My brother was one of your kids, Tommy Reed. Said you were the only reason he didn't drop out." I blink, the name clicking into place. Tommy, skinny kid with a temper, fast as hell on the field once I got into focus. "How's he doing?" I ask, and her smile widens. "Good. Works construction now, got a family. Still talks about you." Before I can say anything, another guy chimes in, older, with a beard and a beer in his hand. "Wait, Hartley? You ran those fundraisers for the school too, didn't you? Built that new gym?" I nod again, feeling the weight of it all piling up. "Yeah, helped organize a few. Community pitched in." The room's buzzing now, little pockets of people piecing me together like I'm some puzzle they didn't know they had. I catch Gloria watching from the bar, her face tight, like she's waiting for something to break. Tessa's still ignoring me, but I can tell she's hearing it, the shift, the way her guests are turning my way. Alan's back, clapping me on the shoulder again. "See? Told you, Miles. You've got a footprint bigger than you think." I try to laugh it off, but then he says something that stops me cold. "You ever get that grant you applied for? The veteran entrepreneur one? I was on the review board last year. Swore your name came up." I freeze, the glass nearly slipping from my hand. "Grant," I say, my voice rough. "What grant?" Alan frowns, like he's confused. I don't know. "The $100,000 one, for that coaching program you pitched. Helping vets start businesses, right? We approved it, but then we got word you'd left the country." "Indefinitely," they said. My head spins, the room tilting a little. "Left the country?" I echo, and my eyes snap to Tessa. She's still turned away, but her shoulders stiffen, like she knows I'm looking. "I never left," I say, louder now, not just to Alan. "I've been here, in town, the whole time." The murmurs get sharper, and I see heads turning, questions flickering across faces. Alan's brow furrows deeper. "That's strange. We tried reaching you, phone, email, everything. Someone told us you were gone, no forwarding address." My stomach drops, a cold, hard knot forming. I look at Gloria again, and this time she doesn't meet my eyes. She's staring at the floor, her hands twisting a napkin. I take a step toward Tessa, my voice steady but loud enough to carry. "Tessa, you know anything about this?" She finally turns, her face pale, her eyes darting like she's cornered. "Miles, this isn't the place," she says, same line as before, but it's weaker now, shaky. "Don't give me that," I say, stepping closer. "A $100,000 grant, Tessa. For me." And I never heard a word. "Why?" The room's dead quiet again, every eye on us. She opens her mouth, then closes it, her hands clenching at her sides. "It's complicated," she finally says, her voice barely above a whisper. "Complicated?" I repeat, and I can't keep the edge out of my voice. "I sold our home for you. I've been sleeping above a garage." "And you're telling me it's complicated?" She flinches, but she doesn't answer, just looks away again, like that's going to make this disappear. I turn back to Alan, my mind racing. "Who told you I was gone?" I ask, and he hesitates, glancing at Tessa. "We got a call. Said it was from your wife's office. Said you'd moved overseas, no plans to return." My chest tightens, and I look at Gloria, who's still staring at the floor like it's her lifeline. "Gloria," I say, sharp enough to make her jump. "You know something?" She looks up, her eyes wide, and for a second I think she's going to bolt. I just followed orders, she stammers, her voice small. Tessa said you didn't want to be bothered with it. The room erupts, whispers turning into full-on chatter, and I feel like I've been punched. Tessa steps forward, her hands up like she's trying to stop a train. Miles, listen, it wasn't like that, she says, but I cut her off. Wasn't like what? You intercepted it? Kept it from me. She doesn't deny it, just stands there, her face a mix of guilt and defiance. I look around at the guests, Alan, the woman with the brother, the guy with the beer, and I see it in their eyes. They're not just curious now, they're judging. Not me. Her. I take a deep breath, the water glass shaking in my hand. I spent years helping people, I say, loud enough for everyone. Kids, vets, this town. And you thought you could bury that? Bury me. Tessa's eyes flash, but she doesn't speak. I set the glass down, hard, the sound cutting through the noise. You built this place with my sacrifice, I say, pointing at the walls, the lights, the whole damn dream. But you don't get to erase who I am. I turn to Alan. That grant still out there? He nods, slow. Yeah, Miles. It's yours if you want it. I look back at Tessa, her assistant's confession still hanging between us, and I know this isn't over. Not by a long shot. But right now, I've got the room, and for the first time in months, I've got something she can't take away. The boutique's lights feel too bright now, the chatter too loud, like the whole room's pressing in on me. Tessa's standing there, her face a mask of panic and anger, her hands clenched so tight I can see her knuckles turning white. Gloria shrunk back against the bar, looking like she wants to disappear, and the guests, Alan, the woman in the red dress, the guy with the beard, are all watching, waiting for what comes next. My heart's pounding, the revelation about the grant still sinking in, a $100,000 lifeline I never knew I had because Tessa kept it from me. I sold our home for her, gave up everything, and she didn't just lock me out tonight, she tried to bury me, to make sure I stayed small while she climbed higher. But I'm not done yet. Not even close. I reach for the scrapbook still sitting on the table, the brown paper crinkled from the snow, the red ribbon a little frayed. Tessa's eyes flick to it, then back to me, and I can tell she's bracing herself. Miles, let's talk about this later, she says, her voice tight, trying to take control again. Later, I say, and I can't help the bitter laugh that slips out. You've had months to talk. Years, even. I'm done waiting. I hold up the gift, turning it in my hands, and I look at her, really look at her, trying to find the woman I married in those cold, calculating eyes. You think this is just some sappy little present, don't you? I say, loud enough for the room to hear. Something to toss aside like you've tossed me aside? She steps closer, her voice dropping to a hiss. Miles, stop. You're making a scene. I shake my head, stepping back. No, Tessa. You made the scene when you decided I didn't matter. I start unwrapping the paper, slow and deliberate, the crinkle loud in the quiet room. The guests lean in, curious, and I feel their eyes like a spotlight. I spent weeks on this. I say, peeling back the last of the wrapping. Pictures, notes, every step of your dream. I wanted you to see how proud I was. I opened the scrapbook, flipping to a page with a photo of her sketching at our old kitchen table, her hair messy, her smile real. But that's not all I brought tonight. I reach into my jacket pocket, my fingers closing around the folded paper I've been carrying for days. Tessa's brow furrows, and I see Gloria shift, like she knows something's coming. You think I've been sitting around, doing nothing? I say, pulling out the document and holding it up. This is the title deed to our old house. The one I sold for you. The room gasps, a sharp intake of breath from a dozen throats, and Tessa's eyes widen, her mouth opening, but no words coming out. Yeah, I say, unfolding it so everyone can see the official stamp, the black ink spelling out my name. I bought it back. The murmurs explode, people whispering to each other, and I keep going, my voice steady even though my hands are shaking. I've been working odd jobs, fixing cars, hauling junk, anything I could find. Lucille, my landlord, she helped me scrape together the rest. I was going to surprise you tonight, Tessa. Give you the home back, show you I could still build something for us. I pause, letting that sink in, and I look at her, waiting for something, regret, gratitude, anything. But her face is blank, like she's too stunned to feel. Instead, I say, I find out you've been hiding a grant from me, keeping me in the dark so you could shine brighter. Alan steps forward, his voice cutting through the noise. You bought the house back? By yourself. I nod, folding the deed and tucking it back into my pocket. Yeah, Took every penny I had, every favor I could call in. But it's mine again. Ours, I thought. I glance at Tessa, but she's still silent, her arms crossed now, like she's holding herself together. The woman in the red dress speaks up, her voice soft but clear. That's incredible, Miles. After everything, you still, she stops, shaking her head, and I can see the respect in her eyes, the kind I haven't felt in a long time. I turn the scrapbook over in my hands, then set it back on the table, right next to the deed I've pulled out again. This isn't about the house, I say, my voice rising. It's about dignity. I gave up everything for you, Tessa, and you didn't just take it. You tried to make sure I couldn't get back up. I point at the deed, then at her. This is me getting back up. Without you. The room's buzzing now, people nodding, some even clapping, and I feel a weight lifting, like I've been carrying a boulder and finally dropped it. Tessa finally speaks, her voice sharp but unsteady. Miles, you don't understand. I cut her off, not loud, just firm. No, Tessa. You don't get to explain this away. Not tonight. I look around at the guests, at Alan, at Gloria, who's still avoiding my eyes. I came here to give you something, I say, tapping the scrapbook. But I'm leaving with something better. Myself. I pick up the deed, slipping it back into my pocket, and I turn toward the door. The crowd parts, people stepping aside, and I hear Alan call after me. Miles, wait. But I don't stop. The cold hits me again as I step outside, the snow falling thicker now, blanketing the street in white. My boots crunch as I walk, the deed a solid weight against my chest, a reminder that I'm not nothing. I think about the house, our house, the creaky porch, the kitchen where we used to laugh, the bedroom where we dreamed. I bought it back, not for her, not anymore, but for me. For the man I was before she decided I wasn't enough. I hear the door jingle behind me, footsteps, but I don't turn around. Let her chase me if she wants. Let her see what it feels like to be the one left out in the cold. I keep walking, the boutique's glow fading behind me, and for the first time in months, I feel like I'm heading somewhere that's mine. The snow's coming down hard now, swirling around me as I walk away from Tessa's boutique, the deed to our old house tucked safe in my pocket. My breath puffs out in front of me, and my boots leave deep prints in the fresh powder, but I don't feel the cold, not like I did earlier. There's a fire in me, something alive and kicking after all those months of feeling like a ghost. I just told a room full of strangers I bought back the home I sold for Tessa, laid it all out, her lies, my fight, and I walked out with my head up. I can still hear the murmurs, the gasps, Alan's voice calling after me, but I don't look back. Not yet. I'm halfway down the block when the boutique door jingles again, louder this time, and I hear footsteps crunching fast through the snow. Miles, a voice shouts, deep and familiar, but it's not Tessa. I turn, squinting through the flakes, and see a figure jogging toward me, a guy in a dark coat, tall, with a grin I'd know anywhere. Daniel. I say, my voice catching as he gets closer. Daniel Reyes, my old protege from back when I was coaching, the kid I spent hours with, teaching him how to turn his wild ideas into something real. He's not a kid anymore, broad shoulders, sharp jaw, a man who's made it. What the hell are you doing here? I ask, and he laughs, clapping me on the shoulder so hard I stumble a little. Man, I was at the party, he says, his breath steaming in the cold. Saw the whole thing. You just dropped a bomb in there, Miles. He's grinning like it's the best thing he's seen all year, and I can't help but smile back, even though my head's still spinning. You were inside? I say, and he nods. Yeah, Tessa invited me, business thing, networking, you know how she is. But I didn't expect to see you walking in like that, taking the room apart. He shakes his head, still laughing. I had to catch you before you disappeared. I look at him, really look, and see how much he's changed, expensive coat, polished shoes, the kind of confidence that comes with success. You look good, Daniel, I say, and he shrugs, but his eyes are bright. Thanks to you, man. You changed my life back then. Everything I've built, it started with you believing in me. My chest tightens, and I don't know what to say. I remember him at 16, all energy and no direction, sketching tech ideas on napkins while I drilled him on focus and follow-through. What did you build? I ask, and his grin widens. Tech firm, he says, proud but not cocky. Apps, software, small stuff at first. Just got series of funding, big step. Been trying to track you down for months to tell you. I blink, the words hitting me like a brick. Track me down? I say, and he nods, his face turning serious. Yeah, Miles. Wanted you in on it, consulting, advising, whatever you'd take. But every time I called, emailed, even sent a letter. I got nothing back. Tessa's office told me you were no longer available. Figured you'd moved or something. My stomach drops, the same cold knot from earlier twisting tighter. No longer available? I echo, and I can hear the edge in my voice. Daniel frowns, picking up on it. Yeah, her assistant, Gloria, right? She said you were out of the picture, didn't want to be bothered. I kept pushing, but they stonewalled me. I clench my fists, the snow crunching under my boots as I shift my weight. Tessa again. First the grant, now this. She didn't just keep me from money, she kept me from people, from chances, from the life I could have had. I've been here, I say, my voice low. Right here in town, working my ass off. Daniel's eyes narrow, and I can see him putting it together, the same way Alan did inside. She didn't want me finding you, he says, not a question, just a fact. I nod, slow, the anger simmering under my skin. Guess I didn't fit her story anymore. He shakes his head, disgusted. That's messed up, Miles. You're the reason I even started this. I owe you. I try to wave it off, but he grabs my arm, firm. No, listen. I'm not letting this slide. Come back inside with me. I hesitate, the boutique's glow still visible through the snow. I don't know, Daniel. I said what I needed to. He doesn't let go. Trust me, man. You're not done in there. Not after what I just saw. There's something in his voice, a certainty I can't ignore, and I let him pull me back toward the door. The bell jingles again as we step inside, the warmth hitting me like a wall, and the room goes quiet once more. Tess is near the bar, her face pale, and when she sees Daniel with me, her eyes widen. The guests turn, watching, and Daniel doesn't waste a second. Ladies and gentlemen, he says, his voice booming, I want to make a toast. He raises an imaginary glass, his other hand on my shoulder. To Miles Hartley, the man who changed my life. Everything I built, this tech firm that just got funded, it started with him. His belief, his time, his heart. The room stirs, people nodding, some clapping, and I feel my face heat up. Tess is frozen, her wine glass trembling in her hand. I've been trying to find him for months, Daniel goes on, because he deserves to be part of this. Turns out, he's been right here, fighting to get back what he lost. He looks at me, his grin back. You're not forgotten, Miles. Not by me. The applause grows, and I see Alan smiling, the woman in the red dress wiping her eyes. Tess is staring at me, her mask cracking, and I can tell she's panicking. She didn't expect this. Didn't expect me to have people who'd stand up, who'd remember. Daniel leans in, his voice low. We're not done, man. I've got something for you. Tomorrow, my office. You in? I nod, my throat tight. Yeah, I'm in. He claps me on the back, and I look around at the faces, some strangers, some familiar, and I realize something. Tessa tried to make me invisible, but she forgot who I was. The man she married, the man who helped kids like Daniel, who built things that lasted. She forgot me, but they didn't. And that's more than she can take away. The boutique's buzzing again, but it's different now. Daniel's toast has turned the room upside down, and I'm standing there, his hand still on my shoulder, feeling like I've just stepped into someone else's life. The applause fades, but the energy lingers, eyes on me, smiles and nods from people I don't even know. Tess is by the bar, her face a storm of emotions, anger, fear, maybe shame, and I can see her gripping that wine glass like it's the only thing keeping her steady. I don't know what to do with myself, my hands shoved in my pockets, the deed to the house pressing against my chest like a heartbeat. Daniel's grinning at me, like he's just won something, and I guess in a way he has. He's pulled me back into the light, and I'm not sure I'm ready for it. He leans in, his voice low over the hum of the crowd. I meant it, Miles. Tomorrow, my office. I've got something for you. Before I can ask what, he reaches into his coat and pulls out a sleek black envelope, the kind that looks expensive just a touch. He hands it to me, and I take it, my fingers brushing the soft velvet finish. What's this? I say, and he just winks. Open it when you're ready. But trust me, it's good. I nod, slipping it into my pocket next to the deed, and I feel a strange mix of nerves and hope, like I'm holding two futures at once. The room's still watching, and I'm about to say something, thanks, maybe, when another voice cuts through the noise. Mr. Hartley? It's a woman, older, her gray hair pulled back in a neat bun, her dress simple but sharp. She's been quiet all night, standing near the back, but now she's walking toward me, her step steady, her eyes locked on mine. The crowd parts for her, and I get the sense she's someone who doesn't need to raise her voice to be heard. I'm Sandra Wells, she says, stopping in front of me, her hand extended. I shake it, Her grip firm. Small business counsel, she adds, and my mind races, trying to place her. I've been looking for you too. Looking for me? I say, my voice rougher than I mean it to be. She nods, her expression serious but kind. Yes. We had a grant lined up for you, a second one, separate from the veteran entrepreneur fund Alan mentioned, plus a speaking engagement and a mentorship opportunity. All approved last spring. My head spins, and I feel Daniel tense beside me, like he's just as thrown. A second grant? I say, and she nods again. For your community coaching initiative, $50,000, plus the platform to share your story. We tried contacting you, calls, emails, even a certified letter. But we were told you were unavailable, permanently. The room goes quiet again, and I feel that cold knot in my stomach twist tighter. Unavailable, I repeat, and my eyes snap to Tessa. She's staring at Sandra now, her face pale, her glass trembling so hard I'm surprised it doesn't shatter. Who told you that? I ask, though I already know the answer. Sandra hesitates, glancing at Tessa, then back to me. Your wife's office. We were directed to her assistant, Gloria, I believe. She said you'd stepped away from all projects, no interest in being reached. I turn to Gloria, who's practically shrinking into the bar, her hands twisting that napkin into knots. Gloria, I say, sharp and loud, and she flinches. That true. She doesn't look at me, just mumbles. I was told to handle it. Tessa said you didn't want. She stops, her voice breaking, and I don't need her to finish. I look at Tessa, my jaw tight, my hands clenched. You didn't just hide one grant, I say, stepping toward her. You hid everything. Money, opportunities, people who wanted to work with me. What? She opens her mouth, but nothing comes out at first, just a shaky breath. Miles, she starts, then stops, her eyes darting to the crowd like she's looking for a way out. Sandra steps in, her voice calm but firm. Mr. Hartley, those offers are still open. The grant, the speaking gig, the mentorship, they're yours if you want them. We've been trying to find you because we believe in what you do. I look at her, then at Daniel, who's nodding like he's ready to back me up, and I feel something shift inside me. All this time, I thought I was the one who'd lost everything, but Tessa's been scrambling to keep me down, to keep me from this. I pull the velvet envelope out of my pocket, turning it over in my hands, and I look at Daniel. What's in here? I say, and he grins again. Open it. I slide my thumb under the flap, pulling out a single sheet of paper, crisp, official, with his company logo at the top. It's an offer. Co-founder equity in his tech firm, full benefits, a signing bonus big enough to make my head spin. Daniel. I say, my voice catching, this is too much. He shakes his head. No, it's not. You helped me start this. You deserve a piece of it. I look at the numbers, the words, and I feel like I'm dreaming. Except the cold from outside is still on my skin, the deed still in my pocket, grounding me. I turn to Tessa, holding up the envelope and Sandra's words in my mind. You tried to bury me. I say, my voice steady but loud enough for everyone. You took my home, my chances, my name, and you thought I'd just stay gone. But you can't bury a good man forever. The room stirs, people whispering, some nodding, and I see Alan watching, his face proud. Tessa's eyes fill with tears, but I don't soften. You built this place, I say, pointing at the boutique. But you don't get to build me into nothing. I tuck the envelope back in my pocket, next to the deed, and I look at Daniel and Sandra. I'm in, I say, simple and sure. Daniel claps me on the back, and Sandra smiles, small but real. The crowd's alive now, talking, moving, and I feel Tessa's stare burning into me, but I don't look back. I've got a house, a future, people who see me. She can't take that away, not anymore. I head for the door again, Daniel at my side, and this time, I know I'm not just walking away, I'm walking towards something. Something mine. The boutique's heat clings to me as I stand there, Daniel's offer in my pocket, Sandra's words still ringing in my ears, and the room spinning with everything I've just learned. Tessa's staring at me, her eyes wet, her face a mess of guilt and defiance, and I can feel the weight of every guest watching, waiting for the next move. I've laid it all out, the grant she hid, the opportunities she blocked, the way she tried to erase me, and now it's her turn. The velvet envelope from Daniel, the deed to the house, Sandra's promise of a second chance, they're all burning a hole in me, proof I'm not the nobody she wanted me to be. But I need to hear it from her. I need to know why. Tessa, I say, my voice cutting through the hum of the crowd, Tell me. Why'd you do it? She flinches, her wine glass shaking in her hand, and for a second I think she's going to bolt. But then she steps forward, her chin up like she's trying to hold on to whatever's left of her pride. I was trying to protect you, she says, her voice sharp but trembling. You didn't know how to play the game, Miles. All those grants, those people, they'd have chewed you up, taken advantage of you. I was the one who could handle it. The room's quiet again, and I can hear the lie in her words, the way they twist to make her the hero. Protect me? I say, and I can't keep the anger out of my voice. You didn't protect me, Tessa. You erased me. I take a step closer, pointing at her, my hand steady even though my chest feels like it's about to crack open. You took a $100,000 grant that was mine. You told Daniel I was gone, told Sandra I didn't want their help. You didn't protect me. You made sure I couldn't get back up. Her eyes flash, and she snaps. I built this, Miles. This business, this life, it's mine. You think you could have done this? She gestures at the boutique, the chandeliers, the polished floors, like it's her kingdom. No, I say, my voice low but firm, we built this. You just forgot who helped lay the first brick. I point at the walls, the bar, the whole damn place. That's our home in there, every board, every nail. I sold it so you could have this, and you didn't even say thank you. You just took it and ran. The crowd murmurs, and I see heads nodding, people shifting like they're seeing her for the first time. Tessa's face twists, and she steps closer, her voice dropping to a hiss. You don't get it. I had to keep moving, keep climbing. You were happy with your little coaching gigs, your small dreams. I needed more. More. I say, and I laugh, sharp and bitter. Look around, Tessa. That car out there, the black one with the leather seats? Paid for with the house. Those trips you took, the watches you wear? All from what I gave up. And you couldn't even let me have a piece of my own? I pull the deed out of my pocket, holding it up so she can see it, the paper creased but real. I bought it back without you. Worked my hands raw, begged favors from Lucille, scraped every dime. You didn't think I could, did you? Her eyes lock on the deed, and I see something break in her, a crack in that perfect mask she's been wearing. I didn't mean she starts, but I cut her off. Don't. You meant every bit of it. You wanted me in the background, quiet, out of the way, so you could be the star. But I'm not your shadow, Tessa. I tuck the deed back in my pocket, next to Daniel's envelope, and I look at her, really look at her, trying to find the woman I loved in this stranger standing in front of me. You built this, I say, nodding at the boutique, but you broke us. And I'm done letting you break me. The room's alive now, whispers turning into full-on talk, and I see Daniel watching, his jaw tight, Sandra standing steady like she's seen this kind of thing before. Tessa's trembling, her hands clenched, and she tries one more time. Miles, I didn't want to hurt you. I had to do this my way. I shake my head, stepping back. Your way was lying. Your way was stealing what was mine. I gave you everything, Tessa, and you gave me nothing but a locked door. I turn to the crowd, my voice rising. She's right about one thing, this is hers now. But I'm taking back what's mine. I look at Daniel, at Sandra, at Alan, all of them standing there, and I feel something solid under me, like ground I didn't know I had. I'm done here, I say, loud enough for everyone. You've got your party, Tessa. Enjoy it. I start for the door, my boots heavy on the floor, and I hear her call after me. Miles, wait. But I don't stop. The bell jingles as I push outside, the cold hitting me like a slap, and I keep walking, the snow swirling around me. I hear footsteps again, lighter this time, and I turn to see Gloria hurrying out, her coat pulled tight. Miles, she says, her voice small. I'm sorry. I didn't want to, I just did what she told me. I look at her, the guilt in her eyes, and I nod, slow. I know, Gloria. It's not on you. She hesitates, then says, you're better than this place. Better than her. I don't answer, just turn back into the snow, and I hear more steps, Daniel, Alan, even Sandra, following me out. Miles, Daniel says, catching up, you're not alone in this. We've got your back. I look at them, these people who see me, and I feel the weight of the night start to lift. The boutique fades behind us, its glow swallowed by the storm, and I keep walking, my hands in my pockets, the deed and the envelope solid against me. Tessa's unraveling back there, her perfect world cracking, but I'm not. I'm whole, maybe for the first time in years. They wanted me gone, but I'm still here, and I've got people who know it. That's more than she can take away. I don't know what's next, but I know it's mine to build. And this time, I'm doing it my way. The snow's thick under my boots as I walk away from the boutique. Daniel, Alan, Sandra, and even Gloria trailing behind me like some unexpected crew. The cold bites at my face, but I don't mind. It's clean, sharp, waking me up after the mess I just left behind. Tessa's voice still echoes in my head. Her excuses, "I was protecting you." All of it crumbling under the weight of what she really did. I've got the deed to the house in my pocket, Daniel's velvet envelope with that co-founder offer, Sandra's promise of grants and gigs. It's more than I've had in months, maybe years, and it's mine, not hers. The boutique's glow fades into the storm, and I feel like I'm shedding something heavy, something I've been carrying too long. Daniel catches up, his breath puffing out in clouds. "Miles, man, you okay?" he asks, his voice steady but concerned. I nod, slow, my hands shoved deep in my pockets. "Yeah, better than I've been in a while." He grins, clapping me on the shoulder. "Good. That was some exit. You own that room." Alan's next to him, his silver hair dusted with snow, and he chuckles. "Owned it." He flipped it upside down. Tessa didn't know what hit her. Sandra's quieter, her steps measured, but she nods too. "You've got a story, Miles. People need to hear it." I look at them, these people who followed me out, and I realize they're not just here for the drama. They're here for me. "Where you headed?" Daniel asks, and I glance down the street, the snow piling up fast. "Back to the garage, I guess. Lucille's place." He frowns, like that's not good enough. "Come on, man, let's grab a coffee or something. Warm up, talk this out." I hesitate, the weight of the night still pressing on me, but Alan chimes in. He's right. You don't need to be alone after that. Gloria's hanging back, her face half hidden by her hood, but she speaks up, soft. "I'll come too, if that's okay." I look at her, the guilt still in her eyes, and I nod. "Yeah, it's okay." We end up at a diner a few blocks away, the kind with chipped mugs and a jukebox that's seen better days. The heat's a relief, thawing my fingers as we slide into a booth. Me and Daniel on one side, Alan, Sandra, and Gloria on the other. The waitress brings coffee, black and steaming, and I wrap my hands around the mug, letting it sink in. Daniel leans forward, his elbows on the table. "So what's the plan, Miles? You've got the house, my offer, Sandra's stuff. You're not starting over, you're starting right." I take a sip, the bitterness sharp on my tongue, and I think about it. Starting right. Not scrambling to catch up, not begging for scraps, but building something real. "I don't know yet," I say, honest. Been a long time since I had options. Sandra pulls a notebook from her bag, flipping it open. "Let's start with what you've got. The house, that's yours again. The veteran grant, $100,000, still open. My counsel's $50,000, plus the speaking and mentorship. And Daniel's firm." She nods at him, and he grins. "Co-founder equity, bonus, the works. You're in if you want it." I look at the numbers she's jotting down, the words, and it hits me. This isn't just money or a job. It's a chance to be me again, the guy who helped kids, who built things, not the shadow Tessa turned me into. "What do you want, Miles?" Alan asks, his voice gentle but firm. I lean back, staring at the steam rising from my coffee, and I think about the years I spent coaching, fundraising, fixing what was broken. "I want to help people," I say, slow. "Guys like me, men who've lost something, who need a second act. Not just money, but a way back." Daniel's eyes light up. "Like a foundation? Tech could back that. Apps for training, networking, funding." Sandra nods, scribbling. "The grants could seed it. The speaking gigs could spread the word." I feel a spark, small but real, and I sit up straighter. "Yeah, a foundation. Something solid." Gloria's quiet, but she looks at me, her voice tentative. "You could call it the Hartley Initiative. For what you've done, what you're doing." I blink, surprised, and Daniel laughs. "That's it, man. Hartley Initiative. I'm in. Tech support, whatever you need." Alan's smiling, Sandra's writing, and I feel it growing, this idea, this thing I can build. "Okay," I say, my voice stronger. "Let's do it. But I need to think it through, make it right." They nod, and we sit there, tossing ideas around, mentorships, workshops, a place for guys to start over. The coffee goes cold, but I don't care. I'm warm inside, alive. It's late when I finally get back to the garage, the snow piled high outside Lucille's place. The stairs creak as I climb to my room, the small space feeling less like a cage now. I set the deed and the envelope on the desk, staring at them under the dim lamp. The house is mine again, But it's more than that. It's a foundation, a base for something bigger. I grab a notebook, one I've barely touched in months, and start sketching plans, ideas, a logo with Hartley Initiative in bold letters. My hand moves fast, the pencil scratching across the page, and I see it. A place where men like me can stand up, not just survive, but thrive. I think about Tessa, the way she unraveled tonight, her world cracking while mine started to mend. She's still in that boutique, probably spinning some story to save face, but I'm here, rewriting mine. I don't feel anger anymore, just focus. The room's quiet, the wind howling outside, and I keep drawing, pages filling up with what could be. Daniel's tech, Sandra's grants, Alan's wisdom, even Gloria's quiet support, it's all part of it. I'm not starting over from nothing. I've got roots, deep ones, and they're pulling me up. I lean back, the notebook open, and I look at the clock. Past midnight, Christmas Day now. The snow's still falling, blanketing everything, and I feel a calm I haven't known in years. Tessa thought she could bury me, but she didn't see this coming. I'm not defeated. I'm building. And this time, it's for me, for the man I am, not the one she wanted me to be. The Hartley Initiative. It's a start, a real one, and I'm ready to see where it takes me. 3 months have passed since that night at the boutique, and I'm standing on the porch of the house I fought to get back, the lake shimmering in the morning light just beyond the trees. The air's crisp, spring creeping in, and the snow's long gone, replaced by green shoots poking through the dirt. I'm not living above Lucille's garage anymore, haven't been for weeks. The Hartley Initiative's taken off, faster than I ever thought, and this house isn't just a memory now. It's mine again, solid under my feet. I run my hand along the railing, the wood still creaky but familiar, and I think about how far I've come since Christmas Eve. The deeds framed on the wall inside, next to Daniel's offer and Sandra's grant papers, a reminder of what I pulled out of the wreckage Tessa left behind. I'm expecting visitors today, Tessa and her parents, and my stomach's tight, not with fear, but with something else, a steady kind of strength. The doorbell rings, sharp and clear, and I take a deep breath before opening it. Tessa's there, her hair pulled back, her face softer than I've seen it in years, no makeup, no armor. Behind her, her mom and dad, Clara and Jim, stand close, their expressions a mix of worry and hope. "Miles," Tessa says, her voice quiet, "can we come in?" I nod, stepping aside. "Yeah, come on in." They walk past me, the scent of Clara's perfume trailing behind, and I close the door, the sound solid in the stillness. The living room's different now, new furniture, simple stuff I picked out myself, a desk in the corner piled with papers for the initiative. Tessa's eyes dart around, taking it in, and I can tell she's seeing the changes, the way I've made it mine. "Coffee?" I ask, keeping it easy, and Jim nods. "Sure, Miles. Thanks." I head to the kitchen, the old floor creaking under my boots, and I hear them settle on the couch as I pour 4 mugs. When I come back, Tessa's holding a photo frame from the shelf. Us, years ago, laughing on this same porch. She sets it down quick, like it burned her, and I hand out the coffee, sitting across from them in the armchair. "We wanted to talk," Clara says, her voice gentle, her hands wrapped around the mug. "About everything." I lean back, meeting her eyes. "Okay, I'm listening." Tessa shifts, her fingers tapping the edge of her cup, and I wait, letting her find the words. "I've been thinking," she starts slow, "about that night. What I did, what I didn't do." She looks at me, her eyes steady for once, no dodging. "I was wrong, Miles. I controlled things, manipulated you, resented you. I'm sorry." The words hang there, heavy, and I feel them sink in, but I don't rush to answer. Jim clears his throat, his voice gruff. "We didn't know, Miles. Not the half of it. She told us after, about the grants, the lies. We're sorry too." I take a sip of coffee, the heat grounding me, and I look at them, Clara's soft eyes, Jim's weathered face, Tessa's quiet regret. "I appreciate that," I say, my voice even. "Took a lot to get here, though? A lot you didn't see." Tessa nods, her hands tightening on the mug. "I know. I kept you in the background because you reminded me of what I owed you. I didn't want to owe anyone." Her voice cracks, and she looks down, like she's ashamed to meet my eyes. "I built the boutique, but I broke us. I see that now." I set my mug on the table, leaning forward. "You didn't just break us, Tessa. You tried to break me. Hid my chances, my name, Everything I'd earned. I sold this house for you, and you locked me out. She flinches, but I keep going, not angry, just clear. I'm not saying it to hurt you. I'm saying it because it's true. I had to fight my way back. Odd jobs, Lucille's help, people like Daniel and Sandra. This is my space now, my terms. Clara reaches for Tessa's hand, squeezing it, and Jim nods, slow. You've done good, Miles, he says. We see that. The initiative, it's something. I glance at the desk, the papers stacked high, and I feel a flicker of pride. Yeah, it's growing. Helping men who've lost their footing, vets, dads, guys like me. Daniel's tech is in, Sandra's grants, Alan's advice. It's real. Tessa looks up, her eyes wet but steady. I heard about it. People talk. They say it's yours, not mine. I nod, leaning back. It is. Took me a while to see I didn't need your permission to matter. She swallows, hard, and Clara steps in, her voice soft. We're not here to take anything, Miles. We just wanted you to know we're sorry. And we're proud, in our way. I look at them, this family I used to be part of, and I feel the past tugging at me. The good days, the hard ones, the life we had in this house. I'm glad you came, I say honest. Doesn't fix everything, but it's a start. Tessa sets her mug down, her hands trembling. Can you forgive me? She asks, her voice small, and I think about it, really think. Forgiveness is a road. I say slow. If you're willing to walk it, we can talk. But it's not a switch I flip. You've got to show me, not just say it. She nods, quick, like she's grabbing onto that, and Jim claps his hands on his knees. Fair enough, son. Fair enough. They finish their coffee, and I walk them to the door, the lake breeze slipping in as I open it. Tessa pauses, looking back. This place, it's still home, isn't it? I nod, my hand on the frame. Yeah, but it's my home now. She smiles, faint, and they step out, the gravel crunching under their feet as they head to the car. I watch them go, the engine humming as they pull away, and I close the door, the quiet settling around me. I head to the desk, flipping open my notebook, plans for the initiative, a new workshop next week, a call with Daniel later. The screen on my laptop glows, the Hartley Initiative logo bold and clear, and I feel it. This is my homecoming, not just to the house, but to myself. Tessa's apology's a step, but I'm not waiting on her. I've got work to do, and it's mine to build. I'm standing in the living room of the house I fought to reclaim, the lake outside glinting under a late afternoon sun, the air warm with spring. Tessa and her parents left hours ago, their apology still hanging in my mind like a thread I'm not sure whether to pull or let be. The coffee mugs are washed, the quiet settled back in, and I'm at my desk, the Hartley Initiative papers spread out in front of me. The deeds on the wall, framed next to Daniel's offer and Sandra's grant letters, a trio of victories I built from the ashes Tessa left behind. She said she was sorry, admitted to controlling me, resenting me, and I told her forgiveness is a road she's got to walk if she wants it to mean anything. I meant it. I'm not closing the door, but I'm not holding it open either. Not anymore. The doorbell rings, pulling me out of my thoughts, and I glance at the clock, almost time for the Zoom call with the team. I figure it's Lucille, maybe dropping off one of her pies like she does sometimes, so I head to the door, my boots thudding on the old wood floor. When I open it, though, it's Tessa again, alone this time, her hands clasped in front of her, her face softer than it was this morning. Miles, she says, her voice steady but low, can I come in? Just for a minute. I hesitate, my hand on the frame, but I nod. Yeah, a minute. She steps inside, her eyes flicking to the desk, the papers, the life I built without her. I didn't come back to fight, she says, turning to me. I needed to say it again. I'm sorry. For everything. The grants, the lies, the way I pushed you out. I was wrong. I lean against the wall, crossing my arms, and I look at her, searching for the catch. You said that this morning, I say, my voice even. What's different now? She takes a breath, her hands twisting together. This time, I mean it with no excuses. I told Mom and Dad I was protecting you. Told myself that too, but it was a lie. I was scared of what you could be, of what I owed you. We wanted you in the background because you reminded us of the truth. I feel her words hit, not hard like a punch, but deep, like they're sinking into old wounds. The truth? I say, and she nods, her eyes meeting mine, that I didn't do this alone. The boutique, the success, it was ours, not just mine. I took it and ran, and I tried to make you small so I could feel big. She pauses, her voice catching. I resented you for being good, Miles. For being the man I couldn't be. I don't say anything. Just let her keep going, because I need to hear it all. I'm not asking you to take me back, she says, quick. I know that's gone. I just want you to know I see it now. I push off the wall, stepping closer, my hands dropping to my sides. Seeing it's a start, Tessa. But it doesn't undo what you did. I sold this house for you, gave up everything, and you didn't just take it. You tried to bury me. The Grants, Daniel, Sandra, all of it. I had to claw my way back. She nods, her eyes wet but steady. I know. And you did it. This, she gestures at the room, the desk, the framed papers. This is yours. I can't touch it. I look at her, really look, and I see something I haven't in years, honesty, raw and unpolished. I turn to the desk, pulling a file from the stack, something I've been working on since the initiative took off. You want to know what I've been doing? I say, holding it up. Trust papers. For this house. Her brow furrows, and I open the file, showing her the legal pages, the bold print. It's going into a foundation now, the Hartley Initiative. Protected, locked down, so it's never just one person's again. It's for the men we help, the second acts we build. She stares at the papers, then at me, and I see her process it. The house, our old life, turned into something bigger than us both. That's incredible, she says, her voice small but real. You're giving it away? I shake my head. Not giving it away. Making it mean something. Sacrifice deserves respect. Tessa. That's what this is about. I set the file down, my hands steady, and I look at her. You asked if I can forgive you. I told you it's a road. If you're serious, you'll walk it. Show me, not just tell me. But this, I point at the desk, the house, the life I've made. This isn't waiting for you. It's mine now. She nods, slow, her hands unclenching. I get it. I'll try, Miles. I will. The laptop chimes behind me, the Zoom call starting, and I glance at the screen, the Hartley Initiative logo glowing. Daniel's face popping up, then Sandra's, Alan's. I've got to take this, I say, and she steps back, toward the door. I'll go. Thank you for listening. I nod, and she turns, her steps quiet as she leaves, the door clicking shut behind her. I sit at the desk, clicking into the call, and Daniel's voice fills the room. Miles, you ready? Big day, new workshop launch. I smile, small but real. Yeah, I'm ready. The screen's alive with the team, plans rolling out, workshops, funding, men we're helping get back on their feet. I glance at the trust papers, the framed deed, and I feel it. This is the real gift, not just the house, but what I've built from it. Tessa's apology's a step, and maybe she'll walk that road. Maybe she won't. I'm not holding my breath. I've got this now, the Hartley Initiative, a purpose that's mine. The call goes on, voices overlapping, and I lean in, part of it, not on the outside anymore. The screen flashes the tagline, because sacrifice deserves respect, and I know it's true. I've earned this, every bit, and I'm not letting it go.